I like playing board games. The ones they have nowadays are much more advanced than the ones we had as kids. Monopoly? Yeah, I mean, people still play that. My nephew is playing a kid's version. Not so applicable to real life. Maybe life 100 years ago? I have no idea. His version had $1, $5, stuff that in today's world is sort of meaningless. But kids understand 1 to 5 much better than 10, 50, 200. But here's the deal. What lessons about life? Did anyone tell you they learned to do real estate by playing Monopoly? I don't think so. But I could tell you that there's definitely games out there which teach you a lot about life experience, all these things. One specifically that I liked was called Powergrid. Now, Powergrid is set up so it's a competitive game. You play against other people. You try to build out and expand your cities. You have power plants that you could put on them. Power plants require certain fuels and produce a certain amount of output. Some are more efficient than others. They'll cost more though. Trying to reach as many cities as you can, power, depending on how many players, it could be 17, 18, etc. And whoever does that first wins. There's auctions for new power plants. Everybody goes for it together. Some people want to upgrade, some people don't. There's a price to be paid though. Because when you get rid of old power plants, you don't get money for them. Is it better to just keep on using your old one? It works. A little bit resource intensive. Oh, I forgot another thing. You also compete for resources. Resources are limiting sometimes. There's only so much uranium that could go around. If most people have uranium, there's just not enough to go around. People could buy you out of resources as well. If it's gone, it's gone. Then you can't power your plant. Then you can't earn money. There's so many lessons that I saw that are truly applicable to normal life. It basically is the game of life, which is a board game, if you don't know, where you have kids, get married, blah, 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 collect money for these things. But that doesn't represent real life, obviously. But this does. Life is often a trade off between now, future, how immediate you want to earn more versus potentially more later. Upgrading in life is always a difficult thing. The grass is greener on the other side, as you heard. But is it? Oftentimes it's not. But really, it's a calculation between here now, here a few minutes from now, here a few hours from now, later. How do I trade my now cash for later earnings? How long do I use this old piece of junk, saying it still works, or saying I need to invest, upgrade my facilities to produce more for the future? Can I predict what's going to happen to resources in the future? Which ones will be limited? Which ones will be more plentiful? In the game, you sort of can, but sort of can't. Because one way you can is by looking at future resource replenishment rates. They change as you go through phases. One thing you can't predict is what other people will buy in the future. Because you really have no idea what other people will invest in. If everybody invests in coal plants, who cares that the future replenishment rates are higher? You're going to run out of coal because you're all competing for the same coal. Why don't you switch to something that doesn't require coal? Oh, should you use clean energy? It costs more. You don't use any energy. When power is free in the game. But it doesn't produce as much. Is that worth it? These are all trade-offs. How much money should you save versus how much money should you spend? We call it CapEx in the real world. Capital expenditures. tariffs that protect you. There's also natural disasters in the real world, which aren't replicated in a game. But, consider this. There may be a natural disaster in a game. It's called another player loses. They're not God. They just can't win. And they decide to do whatever they can to make it so you can't win. I'd say that's pretty good for a natural disaster. What do you do there? How do you manage? These are all great real-life cases with no real solutions. And that's why games are so marvelous. Right? You can play out these scenarios in the game easily, simply. You can develop your strategy. In real life, it's not so simple to try one thing and switch and give up. So what do you do? These games are mind games. There's nothing in the mind. And you may think in real life there's so much practical stuff to do. In a sense there is, but in another sense there is not. For example, medical school residency, there's not a numbers to memorize. There's some practical aspects of how to deal with patients, not just passing tests. Well, for me, that's all easy. You learn it on the job. These numbers you just remember because you deal with them day in, day out. No big deal. The big thing is, what do you do? How do you think? Those are things best suited to a game, I would say. We just look at the essential questions, the essential problems, and you figure it out. It's amazing how board games can replicate real life. But I guess that's not quite the most amazing thing. People design these board games to be interesting. And where do they get the things that are most interesting? From the most interesting things in our world. And that's called life.